football, culture, movement.
Alright, boom. Welcome back to another episode of FCM. You already know what time it is. To the right, the one and only podcasting Pepe. Man like Bumblebee with the yellow and black. We have Fuad Kadani in the house. Man said, big up, split that.
Hey,
Your team got split in the middle, you get me? You know that one's there.
It's a
that one's there.
Man said, you know what? Split in the middle.
You're dumb. Obviously, to my left, the cult hero himself.
Yes.
With his team playing tomorrow. We've got Culture, Cams.
Resting week. I'm good. I'm good.
Say,
you know what I mean? Free
no
hit
week. No collateral damage.
No collateral damage. I can just spit bars today. You know what I'm saying?
I hear it. And of course, myself back in the middle chair.
Come on.
Obviously, I had to take a young hiatus after a few things went down. I had to go OT for a bit. I had to cool off. Yeah, I had to go to the mountains and cool off.
What mountains did you go to?
Can't disclose that still. Can't, my sponsors are watching. I can't disclose that one still. But listen, you already know what time it is. Like, share, subscribe. Algorithm. We already told you the business end of the season always throws up mad results, and it means that we've got a lot to discuss about. And we're not just talking Premier League as well. There's stuff happening in Spain. There's a lot of stuff going on, and we've got a lot to discuss. You already know what time it is. Algorithm. Send in those super chats. Make the chat go crazy. If there's no one in here that you usually see in there, make sure they get in here as well. But listen, as is custom around here, if your team went out this week, did what needed to be done, made sure that they gave a good account of themselves with the last few games remaining, hold tight the 3-point collectors. You get me? Hold tight the 3-point collectors.
Do what you gotta do.
This is it, man.
You gotta get it done.
This is it, man. The season's not over yet. We keep going. Get past the finish line. You get me? Hold tight the participants as well. I mean, football's a game of two teams, isn't it? Can't just be one team doing it. And do you have the belt?
Nah, it's in the boot. It's in the car.
When he turned his head down, I was like, yo, what's he looking for?
It's in the car. It's in the car. It's in the car, man. It's in the car. Them two goals saved your damn life. Them 2 goals saved your life, bro.
Wait. You know the WWE ones? You know the...
Bro.
You know the...
Yeah, man. Look, let's get
looking under the ring. Nah, chill on me, man. Please. I ain't ready for the belt, man. No.
He's gonna hit him with the chair. He's gonna hit him with the belt. He's gonna hit him with the belt.
This guy's trying to ruin my trim already, but allow me, man.
Hey, man. Listen.
Are you humbled? Hey, this is turning into physical abuse every week, man. What's going on here?
Listen, man.
We need to get a restraining order on this brother.
Man.
Hey.
Listen, man.
Oh, my days.
Listen, of course, the big game of the weekend. In fact, let's set the context up. So, a few weeks ago, I think it was, we had a 3-horse race in the Premier League. And the one thing we always talked about was there was one team that could have a real opportunity to play villain in this run-in. That team was Tottenham Hotspur. There was fixtures against Arsenal, Liverpool and Manchester City. Many thought that this team from North London, with the Golden Cockerel, would decide where the title goes, depending on their performances.
Yeah.
The party poopers, if you would.
Clap, motherfuckers.
In 2 of those games so far, you've seen them lose the London derby and lose to Liverpool.
Yep.
Fuad Kadani, what is going on at Spurs right now?
4 losses on the bounce.
Hey.
No.
My trim's looking crazy. You got to see that? You got to see
I'm sorry.
Say over here. Say over here. It's the slide to the left.
Nah, look at this guy, bro.
Come on,
Hey,
man.
You know what? Usually,
Let's get to it.
I'll let you talk here. I'm gonna let you finish, but I need to read out this super chat. Big up Ethan, always in the building. Says difference between OVO and Spurs. #bird. Can I swear on our super chats?
Of course.
Are we past the thing like monetization? I said bird bitches.
Nah, listen.
Fuad Kadani, Fuad Abdullah, Abdul Karim. What is going on, bro?
I had a new name.
Fam, what is going on?
Bro.
No London derby wins this season.
Cuz
4 losses on the bounce. We're seeing pivotal
Unos,
squad members on the
dos,
bench.
tres, cuatro, 4, bruv. And it's not just the losses, it's the manner of the losses, bro. Like Chelsea, 11 first teamers out, bro. Could you as a Chelsea fan, could you maybe name 4 of your sub from that day?
Nah.
There we go. Proves my point. Arsenal, North London derby, at home, show some cojones. Gutless. Here today again, bro. At Anfield as well, that's the worst thing. Even before this game, I was like thinking, I mean, the party pooper tag? Not today. But at least after those 3 games, play with some heart. Play with some pride at least, bro. And instead, what do we get? Same old Spurs, different season, bro. I think we might have to, what was it we ran last year? Hug a Spud week?
Yeah. Ooh.
We have to run it back.
We might have to run that one back.
They're not
because-
that too.
Yeah, I
You
was
can
gonna say,
survive
Do you
because
know
you're
what-
ahead of us too.
Here's the thing, though. It feels like that. That's the fucked up thing. And it feels like that because of how we started that first part of the season. That first 10, 11 games where now it's almost starting to feel like a purple patch. Now it's almost starting to feel like, you know, where you thought that was the real us. This is now looking like the real us, if that makes sense. Now old demons are almost starting to creep back in. And when you look at the way we set up 3 defensive midfielders in midfield, what kind of control are you going to have? What kind of creativity are you going to have? 0. Emerson at left back, once again. I promise you, when Salah got that team sheet this morning, not was he just happy over starting, he saw number 12. Barbecue chicken, brother.
I said,
He's
sorry,
feasting.
Mashallah.
Feasting. And you saw it, first goal, third goal. 8 alive, bro, from the back.
Whoa.
It's bro.
Whoa.
It's
Yeah, whoa.
bro.
That's it.
Bro. That's what Salah's doing.
That's an 8 alive.
From the back. That's crazy.
That's mad. Still.
It's spooky. But then we do the typical thing of once the game is completely done,
Down your
out
sword
of
FC.
sight.
Yeah.
Yo, there's a game here, you know. Let's turn it on.
Yeah.
Down
Too
your sword
little,
FC.
too late. Every time we saw it in the North London derby, we saw it in this as well. What is the point? What are we doing here? And it's almost like the subs, you could say, change the game or whatever. Once again, though, you fucked up the initial decision in how you set up. And I feel like some of these past few games, we do have to look at Ange and say, bro, there are things that you have actually got wrong within this, whether it's team selections, whether it's sticking to the high line, whether it's set piece. Today, I'll give him credit. Set piece, he actually defended Vicario a little bit better. I didn't see anyone stepping on his toes, but that's the bare minimum.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And as much as we can give him credit for all the work he did at the start of the season, we have to point out the faults as well. I saw him midweek coming out, saying, oh, we need big changes in the summer.
Yeah, that was interesting.
And with that, I kind of agree with him to an extent. I don't think what he's saying is abandoned philosophies there.
But
I
it's
think
a
what
bit
he's saying-
hypocritical.
It is
earlier
because
in
at the start of the season it was live by the high line, die by the high line, mate.
Not even that. Earlier in the season, he was talking about a lot of coaches talk about
Yes.
they need players to implement. Just do it.
And
Just
at
do
that
it, mate.
time, I remember I said,
Brother, just do it.
Don't be
Yeah.
arrogant.
Do it, mate.
You know what I mean?
Do it,
You're
mate.
getting humble.
Do it,
You're
mate.
getting humble.
No, but I said at the time, don't be arrogant, bro. And do you remember the Chelsea game as well?
Yeah.
I said, bro, that is the naivest shit. If you think you can do this and keep getting away with it, you're not, bro. And now you're being found out. Now all of a sudden we have to completely change. No, I don't think he's saying the philosophy. I think what he's saying is
the players.
the quality of the players.
Yeah, but that's
that
what you're
attack,
saying,
how
yeah.
toothless it's looking. No matter how much first phase build up and possession you have, if you can't kill teams off, bro, forget about it. Kulusevski sold us a dream, bro. Let's be honest.
Wow.
Bro, listen.
Wow.
He
Wow.
sold
Tell
us.
us-
tell us more.
We saw
Expand on
6
that,
months
expand
at
on
the
that.
beginning. What have we seen since? It's been 2 years now. 2 years we've been waiting for this explosion of quality that's going to come. Where is it? What, you think you could just do me hard yards and press and I'm going to be like, yeah. At least he's creating, though.
For your about to go crazy. there.
Do me something. Please score. Please assist. Please be a threat.
Yeah.
None of that.
Wow.
So for me, it's like in the summer, the biggest surgery where it has to happen is the attack, bro. So when he says changes, I think that's where he's talking about, in my opinion. But once again, bro, 4 losses on the bounce, gutless performance, too little, too late. FC ain't shit changing, man. But we need changes.
Do you know what I say about Spurs? Yeah, context is always super important. I think before the season starts, if you told Spurs fans you get Europa League this year, and you find some principles of playing
Yeah.
football, you would take it. I think the issue with Spurs, for me personally, is you start the way you start. You have all of that advantage, sort of like, you know, from the winning streak and doing what you're doing. Ange comes in, you know, free manager of the months on the bounce, looking imperious. Usually teams clock onto things and start countering it. But to go from that to where Spurs are now is a very big contrast. That is typical Spursy behaviour. To go from being this imperious, one of the best looking teams in the country at one point, to then play like this, that's unforgivable.
Bro, and
I understand drop-offs,
yeah,
but that is mad. But also...
that's where you're right, though, where it's this typical Spurs. And I think that's the issue where Spurs fans are having, almost accepting this bit now, where we thought at the start of the season, it was like, rejuvenate your team. And you're right. At the start of the season, had you said to us, yo, 5th place, you're going to have a bit of an identity, you know, you're going to look like more of an attacking team, would you have took it? Absolutely. But you have to take into account the context of the season, bro. And since, like, from January onwards, we've been basically limping. And you could say AFCON, you could say injuries, you could say players are maybe not up to form coming back from injury. But that's the whole reason of squad depth. The same old issues kind of poking their heads again. Bro, same shit, different season, man.
And what I would say, the second part of what I was going to say is, with you lot season, it's almost like, again, it's typical Spurs. To have all that start at the beginning, then have this moment where you can decide where the title's going to go. You can get one up on your London rivals and ruin their party. For it to just fall apart. Yeah. No one's going to remember Andrew's breaking records and winning 3 Premier League managers a month. All we're going to remember is you had the chance. They told you headshot, and you missed. That is the part that is so typical Spursy. This is like, wow. I'm actually upset that this has happened to Spurs, because it's like, I actually want you guys to walk away saying, you know what, season was a good season, you know, we defeated Arsenal. No, it's just kind of like, all of this was for nothing.
Bro,
it was just for nothing.
Spurs are on a lose streak right now. A win is due somewhere. I promise.
Don't say it, Cams. Don't say it.
You know, if Spurs are gonna win, where that win is coming, bro. You know where it's coming, bro. Listen, surely they're gonna win one more game, innit? They got 2 more games to end the season. Is it 2 more? Is it 2 more, Fuad? 36 games have been played.
Believe so, yeah.
So they got 1 more. They need at least 1 more win. You don't want to hear it, but it might come in the game that you really do not want it to, and that's Manchester City.
Or could it be the final nail in the coffin of our season? 5 losses on the bounce.
I don't know. Because
Haaland's back on
bro,
form.
this is Spurs though. Like, this will be the most. It'll feel like the most Spurs thing. You know what I mean? Like, losing finals. We know Spurs have done that. Bottle this. You know Spurs have done that. Sack a manager before a cup final. We know they done that. Now this is just where Spurs just complete their what's just the infinity stones of it. Give Arsenal the title. I promise you, bro. Like, listen, I don't know if it's gonna happen, but it will not surprise me if that's where you guys get your next win, bro.
Listen, Spurs stories, that's usually where they head, so I wouldn't be surprised by it. I said it last week and the week before as well. I said I can see us some way, somehow having still a part to play. But I wouldn't have thought this game. I said it will be the North London derby and the City game, essentially. We already fucked up one test. This next one coming up now, because I want us to stop the slide at the same time. You don't want the team to lose. But then it's like, yo, if we win, you know what happens. It's like, bro, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Now just tell it, bro. Tell us the truth. This is therapy. This is therapy. We can't do therapy unless you tell us the truth.
Exactly.
What do you really want out of the outcome of that game? Do you want to lose or do you want to win? Tapping Tobes has come out and said, I don't give a fuck, bro. I'll lose.
I'll be real.
What's your stat?
Straight up, I want to lose that game. I feel shameless in saying that, but we have to accept the bigger picture here. There's bigger wheels at work here. You can't just be thinking about yourself all the time and think, I just want to end my 4-game slide. What's a 5th going to do? How's that going to hurt me anymore? I've already dropped 4 games. Give me a 5th. Think it makes a difference. Round it off. Round us to the nearest 5.
I said,
come on.
There's 2 more for y'all.
No, listen. I hear
I'm trying to see North London forever get paraded. Please, man. Come on, lads.
You have one great job. Or good? We said great or good.
You have one job this Wednesday. You have one job this week. Lay down. Lay down. Lay down.
Hey.
Oh, that is hilarious.
That is funny, bro.
You mentioned the Spurs attack. And obviously, like for me, there's a lot to digest there. Because you mentioned Kulusevski already.
Yeah.
James Maddison dropped again for another game. Obviously, he's someone that we've said is a great player here, but at the same time, we've questioned his typical form over the course of the season. Is it concerning that one of your leaders is that flippant with his form? Because the James Maddison we're seeing now, of course, there was the injury and everything.
Yeah.
The James Maddison we're seeing now is not the imperious James Maddison we saw at the beginning of the season. And he seems to be one of those characters, if he's not at it, as a leader in there, because Son wears the armband, but you can see where the leadership comes from. It's a bit worrying.
For me, I think we spoke about this last week as well. I was like, I'm not really too concerned, if I'm honest. I know people have said previously it's been like a pattern at Leicester where second half of the season or when they really needed me, tails off. For me, it was like, bro, he had a big 2-month injury that completely disrupted the rhythm and flow he was in. You got to remember at the start of the season, that form he was in as well, we've never really seen Maddison on that type of performance. It was like a level of, yo, this guy's hit another level. I don't think that was his normal level. It was going to level out at some point. Now we've seen the form isn't really there. He's found getting his rhythm back post-injury not really the same. And the team is not really in good form as well. So there's a lot of factors that have played into it. And getting dropped today, I'm not surprised by it, if that makes sense. I think Ange just trying to think, listen, Anfield away. Let's just try and clog up the midfield at least with 3 DMs. It didn't really work, but in my opinion, I said even last week when he dropped him, I thought it was for a tactical reason. But people think it's for a, Maddison all of a sudden, he's crap in it. Yeah, I think a lot of people are obviously going twice as hard because start of the season, obviously Spurs fans were like, we were comparing him to certain man. we having him in certain conversations, so obviously set man want to spin the block. You're entitled to. I hear it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't mad at it. I would do the same. I would do the same. But
the biggest problem. You're going.
But I just think personally, I'm not someone who now is kind of giving up on Maddison and thinking, he's let us down, or he's down tools or whatever. I just think, listen, he's going through a rough period. By all means, it happens with players, but I still think he is a leader and the main creative in our
100%.
team. You see it when he's not there, man.
The biggest problem I think with Spurs is Spurs are way too easy to play against lately. In terms of, forget everyone talking about the high line, but you got to talk about how easy it is to play through your midfield as well. Couple passes and you're already straight in at Spurs' back line. So I think that's the big issue, and that's the thing. Like I keep saying, like next season Spurs realistically will have the same back four. So all the talk about changes, I'm guessing that's going to come from midfield and attack, really, because the back four, we say individually, are pretty decent. You know what I mean? They've got good players. So it's really the midfield that I think Spurs need to shore up. But then at the same time, where in the midfield do you shore up? Because is it? I thought Sarr has been decent this season. All right, Maddison has fell off a little bit. But do you replace Sarr? Do you replace Basuma? I think will get replaced with a 6 potentially. But then how does Ange shore up that midfield? Do you know what I mean? Because we know Maddison's going to play. So it's about either unless he's getting 2 behind him, or is it the attackers that he wants to get maybe more aggressive attackers who can lead a press? These are the questions that he's going to have to answer.
In terms of, you're so right in terms of the defence being the same. That is why I have to almost point the finger at Ange in terms of how leaky we've been in defensively. Because you're going to have the same players, bro. It's a system thing. You have to change it. And in terms of the midfield, I think right now we're going through a rough period in terms of Basuma. I think has fallen off a cliff for months.
It's not a good 6.
He's been a passenger in my opinion, and 2 lacks. I think Bentancur, since he's come back from injury, hasn't really looked the same. Sarr as well, the past couple of games has been off form. At the start of the season, you would have looked at those 3 and been like, oh, they're the perfect 6 and 8 combination because they can give you a little bit of everything. But it's when they're all kind of simultaneously off form, it looks bad. So I don't think maybe big changes per se, but just adding in another body, if that makes sense. Like, I'll be honest with you, someone like if a Forest go down, a Morgan Gibbs-White in there, give me that. That kind of.
How do you make Morgan Gibbs-White and Maddison work together?
So for me, it would be you would have one sitter, so almost like a Bentancur, and then Maddison. But for me, even Gibbs-White provides
very defensive, very.
But here's the thing:
you
bring Gibbs-White in to have
as well.
when someone like Maddison drops form. That's where he kind of steps in and like a plug, and that's what I feel like big clubs have to do. You have to have strength and depth, bro, and that's what we don't have. Maddison comes off or he's not on form. It's Lascelles.
I saw Brian Gill lost on.
We have Destiny Udogie out. It's Emerson or Ben Davis. That is one of the biggest issues why you're seeing this second half drop off all the time, because players either have to be playing at their best or whatever, or it's a case of you can't have any time off. Basuma, Madders, none of you can take any month off, because otherwise the replacement or the drop-off is miles off, bro. So for me, I think strength in depth has to be the key in terms of the midfield.
Before I go into Super Chats, make sure you smash the like button whilst you're in here as well. The Son conversation. I know at the beginning of the season you were like, Son, that's my son, number 9. He needs to be back there. A lot of fans from Spurs fans in terms of discourse today were... It's weird. I feel like people are kind of like, Son's qualities are Son's qualities.
Yeah.
In front of goal, he's
a finisher.
He's a finisher. But is he still someone at his age that should be starting for you guys? And of course, you don't have to go into it. You guys will never sell Son because what he means to your club as an entity surpasses anything. What does Ange need to do with the Son situation?
For me, not play him left wing.
I agree.
You're selling him short when you play him left wing. We've seen for the past 2 years that part of his game of being able to take someone on 1v1 and that kind of close control dribbling, he doesn't really have that in his locker anymore. But what he still does have is that finishing ability. In the box, right foot, left foot, any kind of angle, he can get you that. Yep. So for me, it's play him as close to goal as possible. Have him be a 9 in the box. Don't have him dropping deep, doing link up and things like that. And then surround him with players who are going to create for him. Like when Maddison was in that form, plating him, it worked wonderful. The wingers, for me, have gotten away with crimes this year because none of the wingers have given him any service. And it's been papered over by the fullbacks being so good. I think Poro's got like 8 assists from right back. Destiny's, the amount of times he's won the ball high up and started attacks, they've essentially been our wingers. So for me, I think if you can get 2 decent wingers who are actually providing for him in that 9, Maddison can get back some sort of renaissance form. I don't think Son is a problem, in my opinion. I think as a 9, he can still function for another season, maybe. We can paper over with him. But the wingers have to be addressed this summer.
Would you say that's your biggest gripe? Because obviously, there's a super chat here, I think, that says Brennan Johnson. Let me try and find it actually. It's basically, So S says Fuad, thoughts on 110 millions on Johnson and Richarlison.
anyone watching the Big Six?
Somebody told me to go to the Big Six. I saw it. And I was like, what's wrong with this guy, bro? Shouting and shit, bro. I can see all of his teeth and gums and all that.
I lost it,
bro.
Because when you do the math in your head, that 110 million has been spent on Richarlison and Brennan Johnson. Bro. It's absurd, the lack of quality there for that money. So for me, of course, that is alarm bells ringing. And I knew in the summer, when both of those players got signed, I immediately said, bro, we overpaid and we're not going to get our value for our money. And now we're like 12, 24 months later, no better off, if that makes sense.
Is it more frustrating than when you throw in like a Timo Werner on loan to play in the wide position?
The Timo Werner alone, the reason why I'm not too fussed, that was January. We needed bodies at the time. I kind of got it. It was a short-term thing. And I don't think it'll be made permanent as far as I'm aware. I hope. But for me, it's a case of the quality in that attack. Outside of Son actually getting you the goals, who can you look at and say, that is a consistent performance I can rely on for the season? That person is going to get me 15 GA. You can't.
You know what I don't like? This is the thing. Like Ange, I respect Ange for the way he came in, instantly implemented his philosophy onto the team, right? And you can see what way Spurs want to play. But one thing I don't like about the managers in today's game is that when it's going wrong and you need a little bit of damage control, they refuse to do anything else. And that's managers across the board. Whether Ten Hag has his style of play, which I don't think is the greatest, but he has his way, and he was speaking to Gary Neville about it, right? But it's not going well. The season's going to shit. So why don't managers adapt midway through or anything like that? I feel like managers too much these days. People have that same thing with De Zerbi and stuff like. Why do they just sit and watch and let things crash and burn? I don't get that. That's the one thing I don't like about managers of today. Like, great, implement your system, have a plan A. But at some point, you got to sometimes be like, all right, the team are either, maybe they physically look off it, maybe they're not at it at the moment, let's shore things up, or let's do something else. Even, let me go to a back 3. I don't know, let's do something different to change these kind of outcomes. But managers these days just sit there and just let it crash and burn, and I don't get that, bro.
I think I've seen
like you've basically you're losing out on Champions League for this.
What, Eddie Howe's tweets?
Eddie Howe's done tweaks like that this season, and I respect it as well. I feel like Unai's done that at points as well.
The injuries, almost forced Eddie to do it, but at least he did it.
Absolutely.
Who? Eddie Howe?
Yeah.
He nearly had his whole team missing.
Newcastle scored nearly 80 goals.
That's what I'm saying. But certain managers have been able to read it, and I'm all for having an identity, but you don't live and die by that thing as if it's...
The thing is, there's identity.
Today, for
Nobody's
example,
saying, there's nobody saying get rid of your identity. But even Sir Alex Ferguson, there'll be time Man United are 4-4-2, we're going for it, we're doing well. We had 2 bad results. Next 5 games, we're playing 4-3-3. We're playing 4-5-1. We just shore it up, get your confidence back. Then we'll go back to our 4-4-2, and in Rooney, Ronaldo, Tevez, you can all run around happy. But
today, for example,
I don't get why managers don't do that anymore, bro.
The left side was getting cooked
yeah.
time and time, and I was like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Finally, I think at about the 60 minute, he brought Skip on, which even for me baffled me at
he
left
played
back.
left back,
But he played decent.
Yeah.
I was like, at least you're doing something now.
Do you know, to the point you make here, I don't know if it's a total correlation, but we always say that the number one head honcho dictates what the rest of the field will do, right? We saw it when Conte came in, played 3 at the back. Everyone did that. We saw it with Jose Mourinho. I'm going to do Christmas tree formation. Everyone started doing that. With Pep Guardiola, he was very much, this is my style of playing football. Everyone started playing at the back, whatever. The thing what we always say about Pep Guardiola is he's allowed the luxury to do that because he has players that can sub in and sub out and play that football at any given moment. And it's almost like, I'm not comparing it to you, but it's almost like a lot of teams want to have principles, want to have things they want to do. And for example, but when you don't have that starting 11, even though you've trained the other players to do that, if they're not of that level, you are killing yourself. And there's nothing you can do about it. And that's why, to what you said, management comes great in. Being a coach and coaching these principles is great, but you need to manage the situations, because now Spurs are looking at a situation where Aston Villa are going to get Champions League football. You could have got it. You could have secured it. With the headway you made, you could have secured Champions League football a long time ago.
And that's how we dropped off in the second half. Look at this for a stat, yeah. Spurs in the first 10 games of the season picked up 26 points, first 10. Since then, we've won 32 points in the following 24 games.
That is mad.
That is.
And you know what? You guys have only won, I think it's I don't know if it's in 2024, but you've only won 6 points away from home, I think, in 2024.
And
something like that.
Since November, I think we've had 1 clean sheet.
So here it is. If this wasn't his first season,
and Derby, you know, yo.
If this wasn't his, but let's have honest conversations. If not for the whole how everything burnt and crashed last year, and it wasn't his first season, and he didn't wow everyone with the 3 Premier League managers back to back and everything for each month, you would look at this stint right here and say, like, this is spooky. The thing is, he's got enough credit in the bank and enough confidence that, listen, we know that there's loads of mitigating factors here. But I think as we're doing now, there has to be a conversation. Like, bro, next year, like, you can't afford to have this happen again, because right now we've clocked you already. We've clocked you. We've seen how you like to go into the job. We've clocked it. So next year, what, you want to run the same play again? We'll knock you out, mate.
That's the thing. Obviously,
what do you mean?
I like how you saying that, man.
But it's true.
I like that coming from
but it's true.
That's it. We'll knock you out. Chill, you know.
That's the thing, though. It depends, innit? Obviously, when you have quality players, the thing is, it depends how you say that. Because, again, I don't want to compare it because Man City had much better quality. But when Pep came in 16 and 17, and everyone was saying that he can't do it, and he finished third, he didn't change it up too much. He just got better. He got better players. These guys learned his system a bit more, and then they went and done 100 points. Now, I'm not saying that's what Ange's going to do, but yeah, okay, it might be getting found out now, but with the better quality players, which Ange alluded to, he needs better quality, you can improve. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So listen, it's the first season. That form is crazy because of the expectations he basically set. But at the same time, Spurs fans shouldn't panic too much. Like, potential fifth place, Europa League.
Like I said, beginning of the season.
It is what it is. You know what I mean? Dust it down.
Shake hands. And you know what? Big up Abby. Abby was saying that she would rather Europa, because if you guys went Champions League, with how you're playing,
we're getting whipping boys.
I remember the last few times.
Remember next year's the new format as well. 1 league table, and you're going to be relegation zone of Champions League.
Because if you think about the last few times,
come on, man.
The last few times that Spurs have been in Europe here, you got to remember it. Last time they got kicked out on technicality. You remember that one? Because they couldn't play
Conference
the game.
League.
Got kicked out on technicality.
You guys should have been the first ever Conference League winners, mate.
They shagged us. The year before that, do you remember what happened that one?
Yeah.
The present break season.
Oh, yeah,
so each time you man have been going Europe, there's been one thing or another. So Europa League's a bit more, you know.
The Europa League is
it's not easy, you know.
Do you know what I mean?
It's a hard competition. It's like Championship.
It's a tough competition.
Ask Liverpool.
There we go.
You see it.
Yeah, there we go.
You see it.
Done anything today, man. Stay ready.
Hey, yo, quickly, yeah. All right, what I realised, yeah, and I cannot believe it. And do you know what? It's mad. It's the first time I've noticed it, right? You know, you'll never walk alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always know, obviously, the fans sing it. Mm-hmm. I had no clue the ref does not start the game until they finished.
Yeah.
Did you not know that?
Yeah.
Why? Why?
Wait, it's part of it. It's part of it.
Wait, play the game.
Wait. Are you saying like they would delay the kickoff time until they finish?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I thought the fans knew like, oh, it's 3 minutes to go to kickoff. Start singing now.
No, because
No.
I saw the ref was standing there. They did the whole Sky Stay Silent like it's the national anthem.
Yeah.
And then as soon as they finished, he started the game. I was like, what's going on, bro?
You know, man, we got to build the army.
Nah, bro.
Come on, man.
You know, Sky got Spider coming in, so they've got a time and they go shh.
Nah.
They gotta do all of that stuff.
What?
Cam's such a hater,
Bro,
man.
no, I could not. Because, you know, every time I see You Never Walk Alone, for some reason, I always thought You Never Walk Alone is when they're walking out. And they're like, You Never Walk Alone, and the players are looking.
Isn't it time to run this? Actually,
no, these men were standing waiting
right.
for kickoff, and they were singing, you know, and the ref was not blowing the whistle, bro. I was like, play, bro.
Hey,
time it.
she's just saying ref does the same thing with North London forever.
Yeah. Don't you men have a beginning song, no?
But we don't, not like
What's
that.
your
We don't
song?
have
What's
one
your
of the,
song?
we don't have one of those ones, bro. We have bare different songs, but we don't have like a anthem.
You need to get your song game up, man.
What's you lot's one?
Say play OV.
Yo, nah, hold on. That shouldn't be allowed, bro. There's home advantage, but that's pushing the boundaries a little bit. What?
Do you want to know a funny story about songs and everything? Yeah. So the last time Chelsea played Champions League, I went to the game. Yeah, it was the game against Madrid when I knew we were getting knocked out. Frank Lampard came back. Yeah. Of course, I've gone to the game now. I'm thinking, I might not see European football for bare long. Let me just savor this moment one time.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you're rushing back from like to get your food and everything. I made sure I got there in time, sat down. You know, had my drink in my hand. Let me hear Champions League music one more time. Do you know what happened, bro? They jammed the button, bro. No Champions League music was played. Do you know what they played? Do you know what song they played?
Don't say, oh.
No, bro. They played Heady One both, bro.
Boy.
Last Champions League game. Last Champions League
Hey, that's that big shack at the Ballon d'Or.
Bro, I was so livid.
No, the thing is, every team has a song, yeah? Man United sing a song before the game. Every team has a song.
Yeah.
Even QPR, everybody has a song, right?
Yeah.
But we know North London forever. They're trying to make it like this iconic anthem.
Yeah.
We know You'll Never Walk Alone is this iconic anthem. But, yo, none of these ones, they don't wait till the whistle is blown, bro. They need to stop that. I'm going to appeal for that. I'm appealing. I'm going to call the league office. I'm going to call the league office. I'm going to demand.
Stephen A.
I'm going to demand. Why did the whistle not get blown, bro? What the hell? That's what I'm saying, man.
Just quickly, back on the game, though, I want to touch on Harvey Elliott as
Baller.
well. I thought he was incredible today. I know normally they stick him on the right wing when Salah's. Today was in midfield. I think that might be long term where he's kind of more suited to. Obviously, you've got Curtis Jones, you've got Sobo, you've got McAllister. But in terms of his skill set, I think today that goal as well.
Who?
Class,
Harvey Elliott.
I've always been a fan of. I've always been a fan of.
His biggest
kid is
issue
crazy, man.
with Liverpool is that the fact that he can do everything. Because this season, if you check his utilisation, he's played both those positions because he's probably needed to. But we all know as a young player, right, you want to sort of like find a position to finally cook in. But they think highly of him. He had to overcome those injuries. You can see that there's a player there. And what I like is that even like the small things, like when he goes under 21s, man's still going. Man's still going to do it, to play games, show up. So I respect when young players do what they need to do, man. And I feel like next season for him will be a bigger one. But yeah, no, you're right. His performance today was cold. I don't know how to pronounce this guy's name, but that was only his third appearance this season. The Spanish Serbian kid for them. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm not going to butcher it. He had his third game for them. He's looking like he wants to come back. Why'd you look at me like that?
No, I didn't even know who you were talking about. I was like, what are you talking
I feel
about?
like next year, with them, it'll be. I think at some point we should get a Liverpool fan on to discuss it. But it's almost like for me, Jurgen Klopp's season or story failing at this is almost a gift for them. Because
for the new manager,
because I don't want to compare it in any way, shape or form, but think about when Fergie left you guys, working those miracles all of those years, left on the top, ushered in his man, said back your boy, did all of that, and everyone's like, okay, you know, the good time's gonna roll. Nothing happened from it. If you have a situation where things are not going so great and you're already expecting that we can't replace this amazing figure.
the new-
So
yeah.
it's actually a clean sheet, like a proper clean
Yeah,
sheet.
it's good for the new manager.
Yeah.
Obviously, the fans would have wanted to see Klopp leave on a high.
100%.
And, you know, you never know when your next title is going to come. You know what I mean? So they would have wanted to win the title regardless. But for Onslaught, it's good. It's good for him. Do you know what I mean? But at the same time, I think, like, there's still going to be that disappointment factor.
No,
there's still going to be that disappointment factor.
without
Yeah.
that's got to be a given. But I feel like long term, like it couldn't
Well,
serve them.
I was gonna say something crazy, but I'll leave it.
Yeah,
You know with Onslaught, yeah. You see some of the slander that's gonna come out, yeah. You see that name,
Boy.
fam? I have the
It's like-
memes. I have the memes lined up. You know Amber Rose slot walk. I have a bunch. Of
Oh,
those
yeah.
memes. I have a bunch of those memes lined up. I dare Trent to have a bad game. You know the one with what's his name?
Amber
21
Rose-
Savage.
Amber Rose,
I'm a
21
whole two,
Savage.
bro. I am ready. I have all of my material. How can the
says-
footballing
Oh my
gods give
God.
us a manager called Onslaught?
No,
What?
that's
It's
too funny.
slot walk, you know.
Nah,
That's
that's
funny.
not
Nah,
good.
they're in trouble. Let's go for these super chats though, man. Essays for Duma Kadani must answer for his crimes in court. Odegaard big game agenda only for run in Maddison to be dropped, and said Basuma over Rice, but tried denying. They said that you tried to switch up your statement. They said you're moving like Drake.
Nah, he wasn't pursuing.
He did it. He did it.
Oh
That's
wait! You were actually when you did the North London debate.
I didn't.
You did.
That was Tobes. That was not me.
No.
I did not say Basuma over.
Say
I
OVO.
would love to find out.
Was it not you? I know
I
it was
would-
100%. It was 100%.
You know me,
Yeah,
I've been
it's there.
Club Rice before he signed for Arsenal, bro.
Yeah,
Don't do that.
Fuad,
Don't do
please
that.
do not be setting yourself up.
Please, yeah. Because you know that
Are you
clip-
sure you did not
If you
say
got-
that?
If you can get the clip, get the clip. But I have never put Basuma over Rice.
Say OVO.
I would love to.
I
see
hope not. I hope
Because if they
not.
clip this hair,
Bruh, I hope not, man.
Esk
I hope
adds,
not.
and Kulu ain't been good since May 2022 versus Norwich. Interesting. Kulu says.
Yeah.
Adam says Spurs and Fuad think making these late game comebacks, thinking it won't look as bad in hindsight, but we are on your mop head. Also, predictions for UCL.
Hey, Mott's will change, brother. Mott's will change, man. Mott's
We'll
will
come back
change,
to
brother.
UCL predictions. Jishin says Fuad, remember when he said Spurs had a better back four than Arsenal? 27 conceded and 1 clean sheet compared to 8 goals and 10 clean sheets. Don't run. Don't
See
go
that
anywhere.
discussion, yeah? When I saw that discussion, the thing is, you guys got mistake. Firstly, I think you guys are doing an individual thing.
Yeah.
But when it comes to back fours, it's all about how you work as a unit.
Cohesion.
That's is simply what the discussion should have been. Do you know what I mean? How do you work as a unit? And Arsenal as a unit defensively is obviously very clear of Spurs as a unit.
You know how the
defensively.
internet is,
But
like,
you lot were
context
doing
don't
the
matter, bro.
yeah. You lot were doing the whole.
We did
he's
this.
Better, he's
They
better.
got the screenshot of me doing that. It was over. Even when I see the picture, I laugh. I can't lie.
Box of Oranges 84 says Spurs not like us, Spurs not like us, Spurs not like us. That's
Hey.
funny. He's locked into culture.
Oh, yeah.
Mike from MIS says, I never want to hear Spurs defense compared to Arsenal's defense. Fuad, you are a criminal for that, bruv.
What was that?
Said that you're a criminal for comparing the two defenses. He also says Iberian, Ham, T, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Puro can't chat to Ben White. That's
Puro.
funny. Puro, that's too funny. Ange Ball, dead like Fuad's trim and extensions. Hold, that's from S. S don't like you. S don't like you.
Whoa,
That was a bit
these are
personal.
not extensions.
That's a
brother.
3-year growth process.
Homegrown
Man said you got
shit,
them-
yeah.
man, could
Just because you and your receding hairline can't grow this year. Don't be jealous, brother, yeah?
That's a 3-year growth process.
Yeah, brother.
Wow.
Doesn't know he's dead with the strawberry oil. This
Strawberry mint growth oil. 60 strokes.
Argan oil. Strokes this way.
Glody Kangyo says the fact that Spurs risk missing out on top 6 or 7. Fuad, you think Levi will back Ange if he misses out on Europe? Haha. We wait Ange head on Ned Stark. That's.
You
I don't
guys
think
gotta
you guys
remember,
Famous
Maze is dyslexic. So you guys
yeah.
go easy.
Yeah, make the
I
super chat
might,
short.
I might have to do the super
I was
chat.
gonna say that.
Yeah.
I know he
do
definitely
this.
didn't read out loud in class.
Bro, nah, never,
Definitely.
never.
Who wants to read?
Never.
Start looking away.
Bro,
you
don't
know,
do
bro.
that, bro, because you read with your finger. Don't do that to you, bro. You read like this, bro. And Ponochoglu spreading his legs open for every team in the league. Biggest fraud Spurs have been rubbish since the first 10 games. That's from AP. I've got to say, yeah, most of these super chats don't have proper grammatic stuff in there as well. No
Every English and everybody's
nothing.
first language.
It's
Big
true,
up all
man.
the international listeners, man.
Big up.
Big up.
Big up Ethan says, Dale
Let's move
Adonis,
on.
where is Spurs' shit?
Sound like Eddie Abu there.
Fam.
Where is Spurs shit?
Yeah, I don't know what's
What's he
going
on about? Dear Donis. Oh shit, he said Dear Don.
Yeah, but where is Spurs shit? I don't. The second bit didn't.
I don't know, man. He's Russian, man.
Naz Rodin says Son and Maddison are known as purple patch players. You're dumb. That's what he said. Says my one Cams, please sing All Falls Down for Fuad. Does this warrant that though?
No, don't worry, man.
Don't worry, man. Big man DK says heard Fuad's bazooka got stopped at customs. Guna over here. I think with John Ange from this summer, he'll get his players and play more his way. Quality and depth are concerns heading into Europe.
Agree.
Says Fuad thoughts on 100. I've done this one already. Push Parga Chatterjee says Fuad, I can't believe you hate Arsenal more than you love your own club. I know rivalries, but when will your team ever rise up for titles? Are you really destined to do this nonsense forever? Is that how low your club and fans have gone? Man's talking to you like Drake. Kendrick was talking to Drake.
Yeah, bro. Man's sitting him down and giving you the verbals, bro.
Glody Kangia says Spurs have 3 games left. Ned Stark is calling. BB says Fuad, you said you want to lose to City. Do you take an 8-0 loss or 1-0 win against City?
8-0 loss against who?
City or 1-0 win.
Oh, come on. You can never take an 8-0 loss.
We got bazookas for them, man.
See? We coming for you!
I don't kill me.
Man said bazookas in such little chest. We got bazookas for them, man. From before, bazookas. You know the ammunition, bro. Bullets. Hey.
Bronzy says Maddison is closer to me than he is to Bruno or Odegaard, and I can't even hit a Trivella. Leicester fans told you about him in run-ins. Fuad 9-0 loss against City or 1-0 against City. We've had one similar to that. Fuad, your dreads are too tight, bro. Why is everyone on you?
Everyone's on you, man.
Hey, man. Listen, man.
You know what? This is their way of saying, yo, nice trip, man.
Yeah, they're backhanded compliments. Listen, man, that's enough on them, man. Where should we take this now?
Take it to Chelsea.
Take it to Chelsea?
Yeah, let's take it to Chelsea,
5-0 win.
man.
5-0 win. Good on the boys.
When May started messaging me mid-day, oh, we home.
Yeah,
I was like,
excited, innit?
I don't like how Chelsea have got to move in the past week or two, bro.
It's been a good couple weeks. It's been a couple games since Arsenal. And I asked on Twitter what changed since Arsenal.
What did they tell you?
There was a lot of it. I haven't actually gone through the quote tweets. What's changed since the Arsenal game?
There's a few things.
Yeah, like what?
Pochettino has decided to invert Cucurella.
But when? Yeah, okay. Cucurella
which is
came
interesting.
in.
That is because Enzo Fernandez has been injured.
Oh.
This guy's such an idiot. So we need a bit more energy or a bit more bodies in there. First we want to change is Madueke has played like 7 games in the bounce. He's looking like he's warming.
Doing well.
Cole Palmer's thriving in his freer role and people understanding that as well. Yeah, the only person that's not really cooking in that attacking quartet is Mudryk.
Can't even everybody eats, he ain't eating.
Yeah, real talk.
13 non-penalty goals for Nico Jackson.
Yeah.
That's more than Palmer.
Yep.
That's more than Palmer. I think there was things said Palmer, it said Havertz, and I can't remember who the other person was.
Yep.
13 non-penalty goals is good, isn't it? I think I might even,
he's got more than goals
than Saka.
Obviously, it's the obvious stat to go up, but he's got more than goals than Drogba got in his first season at Chelsea as well.
Does this feel like a purple patch, or do you feel like you're seeing genuine signs of improvement?
The honest truth, it's quite frustrating. It's quite frustrating that you look at West Ham are one of the worst sides in this league. First and foremost, West Ham are not a good side. Under David Moyes right now, they're not a good side. Their fans would tell you that they don't play football that does anything. They're porous. You play one pass through, they just open. They're not a good side right now. They're in a very, very bad state.
I think
of course, you have quality with Paqueta. Bowen's got 20 goals in all comps. Kudus is a baller. But away from those individuals doing things, you don't really have a team that is...
They're out here looking for managers. They're out here interviewing managers before announcing that the current manager's leaving, bro. They look like they're just throwing it all away, innit?
One of the things that was interesting, he said that, well, when you've got a midfielder in Rice that protects your 50% of the chances that you face, you don't concede as many goals.
Oh.
You bought Alvarez.
I was going to say, bro, Alvarez all season has been cold, bro. Yeah, don't do that.
Right now, that's what I'm saying about them. They're not a good side. Chelsea scoring 5 is great, but we could have conceded 3. They hit the crossbar and post 3 times altogether. The reason why this game is frustrating is because there's small things you see in this game and you think, where was that all season? I mentioned the Cucurella thing and playing inverted. I know some people think, oh, okay, it's inverted, but you can see that actually helps the team. The patterns of play that the team were playing looked a bit more cohesive. So it's like, why is it taking us to the everybody eats part of the season to finally start showing these things that I would have expected to see at the beginning, which you kind of did.
But yeah, I was going to say, there was games where you lot dominated possession,
but not in this flow state.
But we're always caught out by that moment. And
Exactly.
now it almost feels like just time has just happened, basically.
There's two elements that whilst that is true, there is other elements of just little things you look at and you're thinking, this wasn't there. Like, why did you spend the whole first part of the season trying to play left backs and left wing, and then suddenly, because you've had injuries, go, you know what? Well, why don't we just put this person as a defensive liability sometimes next to him and progress the ball? And it's small things like that where you wonder what could have been from this season.
Yeah, you got to learn from mid. You got to learn as you go along.
One, you got to learn as you go along. Two, it's a super young team, and three, whilst this is good for Chelsea and usually if a team ends the season well, you go on to do hopefully well next season. The issue is, I look back on the Burnley and Sheffield United games and think we could have secured Europe by now, but we'd like to be silly in so many circumstances. So you can't really enjoy this. But there's signs of encouragement. I think the biggest thing though is deciding who you're building this team on and what you're doing, because so many of the profiles you look at, Jackson and Noni have a good sort of understanding you're seeing now. But is that what you're going to sit with? Nico Jackson, as we're saying, right, we're saying he's got how many goals? 13 non-penalty goals. For a striker in his first Premier League season, that is a good return. But would you stick with him as your centre forward, or do you look at a situation where you need two forwards?
You're linked with Osimhen though now, isn't it?
We're linked with Osimhen, but again, if Osimhen comes in,
90 million plus
Lukaku, because you're gonna have you're gonna have Lukaku who you haven't sold yet.
He's plus Lukaku.
Oh, plus Lukaku.
Part of the deal.
So you have him there, you have Nico Jackson, you have Nkunku that we haven't seen yet. Really, Nkunku's played how many games season? This is my issue where Chelsea are. What are you leaning on? What are you building upon? One thing I know is that Cole Palmer is obviously going to be a key component. Apart from that, I do not know what you're building on. Prime example, we were saying that when they were both signed, right? Enzo and Caicedo should work as a partnership. Let's have the honest conversation. Have those two at 100 mil each, whatever, worked as a partnership? No. Has Caicedo looked better when he's had Gallagher next to him? Yes. So as a manager or something, what you're supposed to do is...
That's a
no, but what I'm saying, what you're supposed to do
they're
is...
trying to get rid of Gallagher now.
So
he's getting pushed out of the club.
Gallagher's about to leave.
After that Tifo that I just saw on the weekend.
They don't want him to play. The fans don't want him to.
I dare you.
The fans don't want him to.
Do you know the issue? FFP, bro. Because you guys are going to
100% profit.
And spend him for...
You might want to do that to Chalobah. You might want to go.
How much you
good, bro?
Exactly.
Good.
A little Alfie maybe coming through.
Chalo's been good though.
And this,
I like Chalo, man.
This is what we're discussing now. Let me try and have the conversation coherently. What we're discussing now is the issues with next year. Gallagher said it earlier in the season. No matter what people think about him, he stood up for Chelsea this season. He wore the captain's armband. He showed up.
I don't think that's a problem though.
No, but what's the problem?
What you're saying in terms of like who were you going to rely on? Because I think that in the midfield especially, I think that Gallagher, Caicedo, Palmer. I think that's the three you're going to have, in my opinion. No, but I know you've got the idea that Gallagher could get sold. Hypothetical.
Yeah.
But in the attack as well, having Noni who's on good form now. Yeah. I mean, if he becomes a squad player next season, that's not a problem.
Yeah.
Nico Jackson, he's on good form now.
Yeah.
He's not going to start next season, but if he's still there and around, good. Yeah. I know what you're saying. Maybe next season, I don't know what my attack is going to be, but the fact that Poch has them kind of somewhat singing a tune at the moment, I think is good.
Let me explain like this. Like you're not wrong. Let me explain like this. Let's say that Gallagher does stay, right? Yeah. And you have to make that big decision of saying who is going to start in the middle on you, let's say, for argument's sake.
You think Enzo's coming back from a long layoff, doing up?
I tried to say it the other week. Enzo's issue is we do not know what his best position is, therefore we can't
I mean, by the time he comes back, it'll be next season, so he'll have a whole pre-season and stuff.
No, he'll miss pre-season.
Is he really?
Yeah, I think he's going to miss pre-season.
We'll see. I'm not too sure about
it. Listen, I always thought it was going to be a praise test for Chelsea, but you wanted to bring it to a...
No, it's not even a down test.
It's just fair enough. I don't mind going down that route, but I was going to praise Chelsea.
Let's get him. For me, it's about looking forward, because this year, let's say we finish 6th, cool. I want to be a top 4 team again. And in order to do that, there's certain things that need to be put in place, which I feel like we're seeing signs of. But again, Nkunku, I've not seen this year. So I don't know what happens when he comes into this team.
Forget about Nkunku, man. He's injury prone, bruv.
So you could say the same thing about Wesley Fofana.
Forget about
him.
You know what thinking about Fofana? Yo. You're thinking about Fofana.
You can say the same thing about Reece James.
I didn't know he was alive. What?
I said, Mr. Pigeon.
Bro, what? Yeah, Reece James. Reece James, you've got Malo Gusto there. So
But
you can always be fine.
But again, Poch's whole thing was, I've got loads of injuries, I don't know how to implement things. You're saying Gus was there, yeah, right. But again, the reason why I started this conversation about the Nico Jackson thing is he's got 13 goals this season. You're saying we're linked to a centre forward. I think personally, and I'll say it now for clarity, so this is my stance there, I don't think he's a bad player. I just think that he can't be your centre striker unless you've got forwards that are banging in goals. The example I give is this year. I'm not comparing the two players in any way, shape or form, so no one take this out of context. When Liverpool signed Bobby Firmino from Hoffenheim, he was a winger out there getting more assists than goals, and he was just like facilitation and whatnot. In his best return, when he got 15 goals to them in the league, Salah still went on to get 20. Mane got 20. They finished second. They had killers next to them. Therefore, if Bobby Firmino is getting 10 goals, it's great. If he's not getting 10 goals, then he's still adding stuff.
It doesn't mean that Jackson's the finished article.
No, but exactly. But I
think Jackson on the left next season, off, let's say, an Osimhen, I think it works. Because if he can, for me, he provides a threat. He's got the speed, he's got the close control trickery. I feel like he'd still be an effective winger. No left wingers really stake that claim as well, and I feel like he's earned the right to start, let's say, next season, regardless of who you bring in. That would be kind of the alternative. The fact that he's still been able to give you some goals, slide him to the left, and then I think you almost do the thing of what we done a little bit, where you remove the pressure of scoring goals, if that makes sense. Like Werner, since he's come back, I don't think anybody even looks at him as a striker, because it's like, oh, he's just playing on the wing. I think Jackson, you lot could do something similar like that next season, where you're not sitting here thinking, how many goals is he scoring or whatever. You're instead just looking at, you know what, he's got me 13 goals. It's not bad, and it's actually off the wing. He's able to create chaos, if you like. I think that's kind of the middle ground you find.
And again, the big question is, who is there managing all of this as well? Because do you bring another manager to then mix all of these things and everything? And that's why I've not been out here being like this, that, because I don't know what these managers are going to do.
Where do you stand, actually? I actually don't know where you stand.
On what?
On the manager thing?
Yeah, because I know me and him kind of were like,
keep him with Poch. Keep Poch.
Write it out.
My thing is, no one can tell me another manager that comes in that they say 100% my hat's on this person. No one's actually watching all these leagues. What's my manager?
David Ornstein said, you're definitely not getting Jose, you're definitely not getting Ruben Amorim.
Would you bring Jose?
You're definitely not getting Conte, and you're definitely not getting Flick.
Would you bring Jose in with all of these?
No, I mean, I'm not. I wouldn't. But I'm just. I probably would come back.
No, Tuchel's not coming back with the board that showed him 12 players on the pitch and everything.
But I'm saying they might come back hat in hand and be like,
I don't think they do hat in hand. I think the issue is, and I've mentioned it a few times, I don't think Poch has ever lost the changing room. My whole disappointment is I don't think he attacked it as he should do. But one season under your belt with a young squad, finishing in a good position to build off something, he's not failed completely to be taking that responsibility away from him. That's my stance here. And I can't name you another manager that comes in and I say that manager does better in year. Yeah, because I don't know another manager that comes in does better in year one than what Poch might be able to do in year two. If it goes to shit next year, then you can actually say, you know what, it didn't work. You have to give people time with their feet underneath the rug to actually assess it, right?
Two seasons is a good enough time. 2 seasons is a good enough time. So that's what I'm saying. You have to give him next year. If he starts next season absolutely terribly or whatever, then it's different.
Then it's a
his contract is only a 2-year contract, isn't it?
I believe so. There's like a trigger option to do something.
So
there's no rush with it. I feel like with Chelsea at the moment, you take those performances. We know where the level is with teams ahead of us. We're finally ahead of United now. Finally, after being like, why the hell are these guys ahead of us?
You guys have got 70 goals this season. It's a lot of goals.
Compared to what we used to do.
70 goals, that's a lot of goals, man. So offensively, you're good.
Remember the time when we were defensively good and it's flipped. So we'll see, man. I mean, all in all, it's not a bad place to be compared to where we are, but finish the season.
So what, you lot are right now in what position are you lot in right now? You lot in 7th?
7th with a game in hand.
7th. Yeah. So that's what, Conference League?
7 is Conference, 6 is
Europa League. Y'all can hold that Conference League. I don't mind that, bro. So wait, yeah, you guys can have Conference League, bro.
No, we want to go
Thanks,
for Europa.
Big bro.
No, we want to go for
Thanks,
Europa.
Big bro.
No, we want to go for Europa.
Spud me,
no, we'll go for Europa.
Spud me,
we'll go for Europa.
Yo, Spud me,
we're not staying 7th. We're not staying 7th. Where are you, man? 8th.
No, 8th,
You're like doing this. Oh man, but all in all, like with Chelsea, it's movement in the right direction, but no, we could go and do something stupid the next time. So, but big up that anyway. Another London team we need to discuss, Arsenal. Player I want to actually shout out though, Declan Rice. Performance.
As always, as he's been doing. There was a lot of good individual performances in that game though as well though. Like I think firstly Arsenal were battering them all throughout the game. Do you know what I mean? Until the goal finally came. I know It had to come from Saka penalty, but they deserve to have been like 3-4-0 up already.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Kai Havertz had a good 90-minute performance, like full game, hold up play, linking up. That was a good performance. Obviously, Declan Rice getting a goal. Did he get an assist as well? Well,
he got the pass before. I don't know if it was
he got a goal,
when
which was good for him. He could have scored earlier as well with that like half volley. I think overall it's what you expect from Arsenal at the Emirates against Bournemouth. Dominant, not giving away too many chances. Just carrying on, you know what I mean? Carrying on. And it could come down to that Aston Villa game that they dropped points at. Because even if they got us next week, which is that's going to be so funny. I can't actually wait for that game. Do you know what I mean? Win or lose, that game is going to be funny as hell, bro. Just everything around it, the tension building up to it, the way that people are going to be speaking. But even if they beat us, they can still not win the league because Man City could go and win. You know what I mean? Man City can go and win their game. Yeah. So it's just that it really just comes down to that Villa game that they dropped points at, which looks pretty unnecessary because right now. They would have been on what? Where are they on now? 83. They would have been on 86, I believe it is, or something like that. So it's a tough one for them. Also, as well, just to mention, RIP to Daniel Andrewen as well. Yeah.
Tribute that them lot did was a nice touch. But yeah, with Arsenal, we mentioned a few times. So I don't want to like down on the whole point. But if you look at every other league in Europe, Spanish league's been concluded before the season's done. Germany's been conceded before the league's done.
Italy as well.
Italy's been concluded. France has been concluded. This league has been titled not as strong because of the performance in Europe, but you've got two teams that are going at it. Arsenal have managed to keep being there or thereabouts. Liverpool, let's call it what it is, they've bottled it. What it will come down to is that one game against essentially Villa, or you could say was it the December blip?
The thing is, the December blip was bad, but you can't be perfect. You can't. If you drop points in December, you got 17, 18 games to go, whatever. Other teams are going to drop points, which they have. Once you get to this stage, last 8 games in the season or something, where it's literally win every game, that Villa game is the one where it's like...
Do you know I'll challenge you?
I mean, that's the major one.
Do you know I'll challenge you on that slightly? Because their form in the league this year, is that the only game they've dropped points in the league in 2024?
No, obviously, in Man City game, they went to draw.
Man City drew. Yeah. Villa game. So ultimately, what they're showing us is they were going to go head to head on this run in anyway. They dropped points. But the ones that kind of were unexpected was around December. And again, it's hard, but that is the level that you have to compete. But
the thing is, City had a few draws there. Liverpool fell out of the title race completely. Yeah. So there's going to be moments that teams are going to drop points if you drop points in December or November. But when you dropping points in April, that can cost your whole season. I remember when Man City won in 11-12 and we dropped points against Wigan and Everton. Say goodbye to the title, man. You know what I mean? Then Man City dunked on us as well, and then the season's over. You know what I mean? When you drop points at the crucial stage, no matter what, we lost that on 1 point or goal difference. I can't even remember what we lost it on. But now when you look back at it, it was April that lost us that title. And listen, I'm not saying that it's anything on Arsenal. It's not a bottle or anything like that people will probably start throwing around. It's just that was a pivotal moment that could cost them, because you're looking at Arsenal and even, all right, they're coming to Old Trafford, you expect them to win. You know what I mean? I know they've only beat us one time in 17 years or 16 years at Old Trafford in the league, but you would expect them to come and win. So I can't see many teams stopping Arsenal, but can you see many teams stopping City at this point? Haaland just walked off with 4, which we'll touch on. It's tough.
It is tough, man, and I feel like sometimes it's nice that we're having a nuanced conversation about it, because what more can you do? Like, be perfect? It's a very difficult thing to do, and I guess they deserve credit for going toe-to-toe with them, but it's just mad that when you analyse it from year to year, it'll be like the year before it was this period, this year it was that period. What do you do to change to get it right?
You can't be perfect, man. Gotta be perfect.
But that's
what you're showing, man.
In this modern day age, that's crazy.
It's difficult, but that's the standard City have set. Talk about fucking standard. That's the fucking standard.
Bro, so is anyone else going to win the league again then? If City are just... Because City haven't been perfect this year.
That's the gauntlet that's been dropped to the league, though.
And you got to deal with it. You got to deal with it. Do you know what I mean? As I said, obviously it sounds harsh because we're saying, one drop of points or 2 drop of points can lose you the league or whatever, but that loss against Villa was unnecessary. Like, that loss against Villa Honestly, if that loss against, I know it's hard because City don't lose, but there's moments where you do have to look at yourself. That loss against Villa was unnecessary. Without that, Arsenal will be champions, bro. Arsenal would have won the league.
Yeah.
They would have won the league, bruv. Do you know what I'm saying? They have shown that they are on par with Man City. They are City's level. You would say City are the best team because of what they done last season and like who the Man City are. But they are levels with City. So all this stuff about like, oh, why can't you win the league in the Pep era? You're levels with City.
And I think
they are levels with City, bro. Are we not blind? We can see it.
Last season, I think maybe because it was like the first time you thought maybe, oh, can they kind of do it long term? I think this season they've closed the gap even more and kind of looked better as a team in terms of defensively how they've shaped up and everything. But I feel like there have been moments as well because December when they had that kind of blip, if you like, how they bounced back from that as well. I don't think previous years you would have looked at that and thought an Arsenal team would bounce back like that. But you have to give them credit for still almost continuing the upward trend, if you like. And at some point, I'm sure they're hoping that City will have a dip. City will have a, 3 years, 4 years, we've done it in a row. This year we might not be at it. That they are just, in the right place at the right time to kind of capitalize on that. And I think at the moment, that's where they are.
Yeah, I agree.
It's mad, man, because think about it. They improved their defensive record. They've not got as much squad depth compared to their competitors. Their strikers scored 4 goals this season and they're still matching Manchester City.
They got the most goals in the league, least conceded, the best goal difference. A lot of what we see underlying numbers, Arsenal are the best team in the league by the underlying numbers and all this type of stuff. But
however,
as we always say, listen, sometimes it feels like the table could lie. It feels like it, but in the end it doesn't lie, I guess, because even in the position Man United are in, I'm like, how are Man United even sick? Look at the table, look at the goal difference. This doesn't make sense. It feels like the table is lying a little bit. No, I'm saying when we were. It feels like the table is lying a bit, but not saying the table is lying for Man City not to win it, because they should, but Arsenal will feel like, damn, majority of the season, we probably were the best team. But they can say that last year too. Let's not forget. Last year, they
was 93%
more. That's what I'm saying. They've gone up a level.
I just saw it in the...
That's what I wanted to bring
in the
up.
NBA, in the playoffs just recently, Lakers they led majority of this play in this series, but Denver beat them 4-1. Sometimes that shit happens, bro.
You have to make things count in the right moments.
We say
You have to make things count in the right moments.
that's it. Those are the times, like when you win leagues, it's about the crucial moment, man. It's about that's what I'm saying. If you drop a point in December, okay, it happens. Draw a point in November, it happens. But when it's April, March, May, it gets to a point where you can't drop. And it's always been like that. It's always been like that. I know since Pep is here, the point tallies have gone up, but it's always been the case. You can't afford to lose in April. You can't afford to lose in May. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Let
me go through these super chats quickly. And you mentioned Haaland, so only right we're speaking to him. Musa says, thought these guys were going to choose who wins the league. Everyone scores against them. Fuad is fraud. Spurs is Spursy. A shame for Moyes' error to end like this. The club never backed him in Jan. He performed miracles. I hope he gets the recognition he deserves next week. It's an interesting one for Moyes, man, because at one point it looked like they were cooking, man.
Who?
But Moyes.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it ended poorly, innit?
Ice11 says, Cam's love for the Moyes support, a real one.
Come on, man. That's
Lamin says, Enzo, aka Vamos Vauxhall, better trim his engines. Jiba Football says, the audacity and arrogance of this ownership to say they demand Europa now. Where were you when Poch asked for Prem-proven ballers? We need continuity. Interesting. Natish says, Cam, I think the elephant left the room, that's why. Jiba, Chalobah is better than some CBs going to the Euros. Nico Jackson's all-round game is impeccable as well. And our number 23 is the English Arturo Vidal. Enigma says, bro, you won 5-0. This is time to be shameless. Listen, after I said the whole thing, I've stopped shame. Arsenal made me find shame. Spaceman Trooper says, who's had a worse week, Drake or Big Ange?
Drake, definitely.
Yep.
Don't do that.
Yeah, Drake still got. He's still got a little. He's still got.
Hey, that's definitely a Drake style to try and deflect there.
Yeah.
Your goat held it this week. I'm sorry.
Drake's still in there, man. Drake's still in there.
Frankie Farsam says premature, but who do you have as players this season? Also, do you think if Drake was a Spurs fan, Meet the Grahams would have had another verse?
What?
Because Kendrick.
No, Kendrick is a Spurs fan. Don't forget that.
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah.
Don't forget that.
Kendrick is a Spurs fan.
Yeah, brother.
Yeah.
That's what it makes
we got a W this
That's
week.
why he don't make my top. That's why he don't make my top 5. You know my top 5? Drake. No, Drake.
No,
Oh man.
What top 5 you smoking on, Kendrick?
Ediochi just sends in the super chat. Big up. Adam says this will be as low as City dip. Arsenal got a rise. Ethan says Xabi Alonso has 4 games left. Scary hours.
Wait, let's talk about City, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
last one. Guvardio gonna noticed. Feel like people are too harsh on him at the start of the year, playing a new position, adapting to the team, so you can see the quality. Cool. Before we get to City, I want to ask you a question. You see this beef between
That's for sure.
Shut up.
What do you think? What do you think? Shut up, bro. What do you think?
Carry on, man.
Bro? What do you
I
think?
don't want to hear what you gotta say, bro.
That's
Let the
fine,
host
bro.
host.
You're an idiot.
where does this beef between the Haaland family and Roy Keane like rank in terms of all-time beefs? Because they're cooking it up for real now.
Listen, this is.
I don't think Keane is just say. I don't think Keane is targeting Haaland personally.
Nah,
That
Roy-
League Two comment was
it was
ridiculously harsh.
over the top.
Yeah, that was
Way
over the top. But what did he say today? That you weren't he using that as an example about like how things happen between player and manager? Like just get. I don't know. I think the quote
he's
makes.
trying to
I think the
He's trying to
person
poke
who
it.
is reveling in it all, me personally, I think, is his dad, who's thinking, "You little punk, you ended my career."
Which is a bit debatable. That story is a bit debatable.
Yeah. But you sat on TV talking
about
all
my
that shit
son.
all these years. Now you're talking about my son.
Yeah.
And every time his son scores, it's like,
Yeah.
see you, hold it, bro.
Where's your offspring? Where's your offspring?
Where's your son, yeah?
Where's your offspring?
Selling me at the butchers, yeah, that's where he should be. Real men hype. I'm telling you, Alfie Haaland is eating right now. Every week.
Oh man, but yeah, as you said, 4 goals.
Erling, bro.
Bro, he
Erling.
heard all that talk of Palmer and Isaac trying to catch up on man. He
He
said,
said, "G-man, relax."
let's create a bit of gap
Separation.
and restore order. And I want to talk about the 2 goals, the second and the fourth one in particular,
Yep.
because Haaland isn't someone who, I think he's only got 10 headed goals at City, and even before that he only had
His
like
headed record
Yeah.
was abysmal.
minimal
We used to
amount.
talk about
But that goal, I was like, yo,
new package.
if he unlocks that package,
Of what heading?
the heading ability.
No, but the thing is, Haaland is good at
he's
when
a
you
giant.
float
He
it
can
at the
leap.
back post.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's not like, like with Drogba, for some of those attributes, you just
Yeah.
say, if it's in the air, it's where
And
Haaland's like goal scoring package isn't notorious for headers.
Yeah, and I don't think City played to that. I think if Pep decides, certain times our fullbacks get the ball, because obviously now he's playing with 4 centre backs these days. Maybe he doesn't trust their crossing ability. But bro, get some whips back post to Haaland where he just goes boom and just unleash that. And then the 4th goal, I just thought, bro.
Bro, I say it before,
quality,
like
bro.
a lot of people talk about Haaland the footballer, and which I understand, but why do we act like Haaland? I said it before, he's a one-man wrecking machine when he's on the transition. He's one of the most deadly players in world football on the transition. So when people say he's not this footballer, I get it, okay, he needs to work on his hold-up. He's 23 years old, which I've said before. That's for me what separates Haaland from many of the all-time great goal scorers we've seen. Like, because when I say I think Haaland's probably the best goal scorer we've seen in the league, people say, oh, like maybe Ruud van Nistelrooy or Alan Shearer and these guys. But you couldn't give the ball in transition to Van Nistelrooy just to run on by himself, him and a defender, and he's going to sit you down or just bang it into the bottom bins. And Van Nistelrooy is my favourite player of all time. And it's just the reality. Haaland, the range in which he can score, as you mentioned, the heading and then the speed, it's too much. It's too overpowered. And that's why when... You know me, I'm a pure footballer, but I never really co-signed this whole Haaland disrespect. I don't co-sign it, bro. I don't co-sign it.
I almost feel like it's a stick that gets used to beat him with, so he can't be crowned best player in the world or whatever. And I'm like, do we forget that goals is the biggest currency in football? Like, if you can score goals at a high rate and at a high level, bro, you have to be considered one of the best footballers in the world. And people might look at it and say, oh, but that was against Wolves or whatever. As you said, bro, he's 23. Last year, he broke records that had been held for however many decades or whatever. Bro, this guy is a freak of nature. And when I see people give like hot takes about, man, this guy, he's just a tapping merchant or he ain't a footballer. What's this, man? I'm like, bro, these takes are going to age horribly. And it's only going to be a matter of time for you. Like, you know, maybe he is a... bro, do not be on the wrong side of history with Haaland.
Listen, he's one of the greatest. He's going to go down as one of the greatest scorers statistically anyway, ever. The stats that he's putting up. And the thing is, the frustration with Haaland, I do get it. In them tight games when you're playing against an Antonio Rudiger, you're playing against a Saliba or whoever, right? You want him to give you a little bit more. But I've said before on this show as well that I do think sometimes the way that City play doesn't help him, because you're not going to give the ball to Haaland. You're giving it to the wide man. You're giving it to Jack Grealish. You're giving it to everyone else is getting touches. And the only time you want Haaland to touch the ball is when we clip it into the box, when we drill it across the box. But you're playing against high-level centre-halves who can just muscle you away from them position. Sometimes in these big games, I would personally like to see maybe City relieve the ball. Let the opposition have the ball, win that back, release Haaland, you're dead. You saw it against Bayern Munich away from home. They did that. They released Erling Haaland. He dropped Upamecano and bagged. Simple, bro. This is what he does.
Play to your player's strengths, isn't it?
Yeah. So listen, it's about how you use him.
Early last season, when they weren't as like fully geared up as you were, when they were hitting certain teams on the transition, it was devastating.
He does it all the time. Look at his Dortmund goals.
But do you know what I say about Haaland? Yeah, I feel like sometimes in football there's a lot of stuff that some people say it goes unseen because it's not the stuff that's directly in terms of on the ball contributions. Him being that presence, we say it all the time. Haaland literally being there will occupy 2, 3, 4 defenders because they're all shook. How many times have we seen balls come across and before he even gets there, the defenders are like, "Bro, I can't win that." And if you think about with the personnel that City play with, him being who he is and what he does actually helps his teammates. So yes, he's not this imperious footballer that you want him to be, but as you said, that probably gets judged more on the biggest occasions, or as people constantly say, when it's a national game, when it's like you don't have the high volume chance creation you're getting, you're going to have to do something by yourself here to get you guys through. And that's where it is. He won't be the first player that's a great striker that might struggle at international level because we're relying on you to do more. But as far as it goes at City, people can drop agendas, but he's top goal scorer again. Back-to-back golden
He's going to get golden boot again. Bro,
listen, man. Credit where credit's due, man. Credit where credit's due, man. Is there anything you want to discuss? Should we go through the rest of the Premier League fixtures just to sort of get a little
Newcastle
view?
Battered the daylights out of
Bro,
Burnley, you know?
Newcastle scored 78 goals in the league, bro.
Yep.
With all them injuries and stuff.
Yep.
That's incredible, man. They deserve credit for
Wilson
that.
since when?
That's what I'm saying. They're the 4th highest scorers in the league, and that's behind Arsenal, City, and Liverpool. So
Right. Credit where credit's due. With all of their injuries to do that, got to give that respect. Forest 3-1. Hudson-Odoi got a young brace. Did his thing.
But listen, it's good to see him focused and
it's only 23.
back in that. Yes, listen, the talent never lies, innit?
Listen, man, long career, man. You can see what happens. Brentford and Fulham had a 0-0. You see the video of Morpah going chippy.
Yeah.
Absolute mad. Obviously, Brighton beat Villa 1-0 as well. So Spurs somehow get a lifeline once
Raya
again.
won the Golden Glove.
Raya won the Golden Glove without even playing.
Yeah.
Without even playing. That's with Ramsdale starting loads of games this season as well.
Is it?
Ramsdale started like 6 or 7 games.
Wait, what do you mean? So does Raya get the Golden Glove if...
No. Raya's clean sheets are his clean sheets. I'm just saying that he's played less games.
Because
Ramsdale and he still managed to get that. I don't know if that is a big up to how great Arsenal are.
I mean, it is, isn't it?
Which it is, but also how bad is the league? Do you get? Obviously, before we go champs and duds, let's talk about briefly United, Palace. How you feeling for the game? Selhurst Park, you gonna go down?
Yeah, I'm gonna be there. I don't know. Listen, no centre back. Well, I think Lissandra might come back.
Casemiro CB continues.
I guess so, because Maguire's out for 3 weeks now. So I think that's gonna be a peak game. You know, I'm not confident of win there. 8 o'clock, Palace. They love to get up for those.
Remember when Elisa scored a free kick? Was that?
Yeah,
that was a
dagger.
Well?
That was
a
the dagger
as well.
Yeah. That was the dagger. So I think it's gonna be a tough game. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't walk away with any points. But I'm gonna go for a draw. Nasty game. I
hear it. Let me go for these super chats. Then we do champs and duds. Adioche goes, Nigerian fan here. Winning the league doesn't require being better than the best, just being good enough. Arsenal is better easily. Maxwell says fan from Kenya. Basically, winning the league doesn't require being better than the best, just being good enough. Arsenal is better easily. Maxwell says fan from Kenya, keep it up, love your content, big up UG. Ethan says Sancho champ of the week for that performance. Nuno dud. We'll get into this shortly. GP says if Robbie was chips, vinegar, or if Robbie was chips, vinegar, or salt, or both. Okay. Is my dad says big up Sheffield, 100 goals conceded. Champs and duds, let's get into it. I've got a few champs, but my first champ, Kieran McKenna.
Ooh, promotion.
Oh,
Back-to-back promotions.
Back to back.
Back-to-back promotions. When he picks them up, they were 11th in the league. In the time he's been there, he's accumulated more points in the English football pyramid than Mikel Arteta, Pep Guardiola, Nigel Clough as well. You know Nigel Clough. He's been doing his thing in League Two.
Yeah.
He's been doing his thing. They've played good football. They've made decent signings and whatnot. But I also want to big up Leif Davis as well, the left back.
Yeah, he's a good player.
18 assists. He should get a
watching
move.
him.
He's a player, bro.
He should get a move.
He should be coming to United,
I
mate.
like him.
He should.
Should be coming to
I've
United.
got-
Let's get Luke
Too
Shaw
big of a
out
step,
here.
no?
Huh?
You reckon? That's a crazy jump.
Do it, mate, before he's 100 million, innit?
Yeah, trust.
Big up Bromley as well.
Yeah, that's big.
Promoted South London, League
up.
2.
Bromley.
Yeah, they got promoted to League 2.
fair.
Yeah.
Nice.
Got a few more. Obviously, Sancho got shouted out. Big up Sancho for that
Yeah,
performance
big
midweek.
performance.
Respect to that. Big up Girona as well for doing the funniest thing ever.
They beat Barcelona.
They slapped Barcelona to make
Who's the
Madrid.
player?
That volley.
Saviola.
Punta?
Huh?
Puntra?
Oh, the guys that
volley.
scored the goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know which goal.
Yeah.
Nasty.
Yeah.
That is some of the... They need to get the cinematic angles on that one.
Yeah.
Because
Another-
he threw his whole... You know
Yeah,
what
yeah,
He
yeah.
swung his
Man,
body
Yeah.
to the side.
Yeah.
He swung his body to the side. Oh man. So yeah, there's a few chumps there. Girona as well, because obviously I think Girona is in Madrid, if I remember correctly, which is hilarious. But obviously they can't play Champions League football next year, so that's a dud on City.
I was just about to say that. What is going to happen with that?
I think they've ruled. Apparently I saw the ruling. They've made a ruling, so I think they can't play because of the City ownership. So that's a dud.
So does that mean 5th place is going to get it then?
Basically, I think so. We'll wait to see, but that might be a dud there.
That'll be
So,
overtime, man. That'll be
who you
overtime.
lot's champs?
Well, Real Madrid won the league, innit? So you got to give it to them. I mean, congratulations to them. Another one is that 34 titles or 36, I think.
36,
you know
I
what
think
I'm
it
trying
is,
to
yeah.
say.
That
So,
was actually going to be my one.
so yeah, that's my one.
Cool. You got
My champ I'm going to give to Jens Lehmann. For pure skullduggery, what I would call. Obviously part of the Invincible squad in 2004. And I think just this past week, he's bought all the registered trademark rights and usage to the term Invincibles.
Wow.
So Arsenal can no longer parade, we are them. They must ask Lehmann.
What's wrong with this guy? He's an op.
Do you want to know the funny thing though? Yeah?
I thought you was one of them.
He's an op.
But you are a nasty
He's
piece
nasty
of work,
for that.
Lehmann.
Sorry, correction.
Nasty.
Girona is in Catalan, which makes it even worse that they beat Barcelona. Man said, "Hey, big
They're
dog.
saying-
Hey,
they're saying-
big dog.
They're saying Robbie got to change his podcast titles.
Well, he's got to pay royalties.
Hey.
That's too funny. What other duds are there? Spurs.
I think the whole biggest champ of the week, I think we have to say Kendrick Lamar as well. I think
These guys doing an early parade, man.
can we not
Early parades.
for stoking some of the greatest battles we've seen in the
Give
past
both
week
of them
or
a
so.
champ then.
I need violence.
Family matters.
I needed to get violent.
Hey,
I need a tour bus shut up.
you
Whoa.
don't want that with West Coast brothers. You don't want that with West Coast brothers.
Yeah, I hear that.
Yeah, you be crip walking trying to dance through them bullets, boy.
Yeah, I hear it.
Listen,
Hey, Drake, you under
Oh, sorry,
pressure.
Spurs. I mean, it's not Spurs. Sheffield United, 100 goals conceded officially.
Yeah.
Big duddery.
yeah.
But yeah, listen, man. I think that is it. Champions League will come back soon. We'll get into that when it comes back. Like, share, and subscribe. You already know what time it is. We'll be back next week.
Yes.
More football, more vibes, more energy. You already know what time it is.
Oh,
FCM
next
over
week.
and out.
It's
We're
Man United v Arsenal. Yo, listen.
eating.
That might be a
We're gonna have an
generation.
old timer.
That might be a generational episode. Let me tell you
The
that.
bounce will be on deck.
Just don't let it go the way that you don't want it to. That's what I'm gonna say, boy. Because
Hey, imagine Spurs beat City midweek and then you beat them.
that's your dream, innit?
Hey,
That's your dream.
let that happen a day.
No, Arsenal. No. They got Fulham. They got Fulham first.
Yeah, they're waiting
City have
for-
got Fulham, and then it's Man United, Arsenal, and then you lot have got. You lot have got Spurs.
Fulham are waiting.
No, Spurs have got
Arsenal
City.
waiting for Iwobi and Leno to
Iwobi.
try and play. Iwobi to pay favours. You know, they're not in the payroll. Listen, man. Like, share, subscribe. We'll be back next week. We're over and out. Boom.